Hey there, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Erik Kostrzewa. We are talking everything frost. It's been a couple colder nights here the last couple. It's going to remain that way for tonight as well. You may have just heard my voice a second time. That was me just making sure my mic is all up and running. So let's get to it. Hopefully you guys are having a good Thursday evening and a good week so far. We're almost to the weekend. So let's get you to it when it comes to the weather. Just want to show you exactly how frost forms, because a lot of our temperatures, even if you were under a frost advisory last night, it was above freezing. So how exactly are we getting frost, which is frozen water, happening when it's above freezing? Well, the air temperature, when we look at the thermometer, even though it says 35, 36 degrees, that's measured about 5 feet off the ground. So kind of where, our head would be in a lot of cases, maybe even, higher than that, of course, if you are taller than 5 feet. But it's measured 5 feet off the ground, and colder air sinks. So even though it's 36 degrees at 5 feet, right at the ground where the grass is, colder air, 32 degrees, maybe even just below freezing. And when we have those water droplets on the surface, on those blades of grass, or any plants that may have had frost this morning, those water droplets freeze and form ice crystals, and that's where we see the frost. Now, we've had these good conditions. We've had some moisture in the air, temperatures 30s, moisture on the ground, as well as light winds, clear skies. Those have all been happening the last couple of nights. Maybe not so much Tuesday night into Wednesday when we had some winds able to mix up that air, but we did have a couple frost advisories in our northern communities. Now we have frost advisories everywhere except for our northern communities. So Roscommon, Ogama, Iosco, as well as Gladwin and Aranac counties, no longer going to see any frost or freeze alerts. The growing season has officially ended. We saw temperatures well below freezing last night in a lot of these areas. So the National Weather Service in northern lower Michigan is no longer going to be issuing alerts. The rest of us still have the growing season ongoing because we didn't see temperatures below freezing in many cases. So frost advisory continues with temperatures in the low to mid 30s. We had our first freeze last night officially in Flint, where we got down to 32 degrees. That is right on par with what is normal for any year. So the average time that it happens is October 9th, and it happened here today on October 9th. Our first frost actually happened September 7th when we had that October feel to the air happening in early September. That was well before when it usually happens in late September. The average hard freeze, when we get below freezing, that's more so October 22nd. That has not happened just yet. That would effectively bring an end to our growing season. Another frosty night on the way. Rain chances increasing Friday and Saturday. Temperatures staying at or just above average with a sunnier stretch. After that, Friday and Saturday, cloudy, rainy time frame. We will be seeing sunshine Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and even potentially stretching into Wednesday. What we have ongoing right now, temperatures already down through the 40s to lower 50s. We do have some clouds that are over Lake Huron. Otherwise, it is very clear and very bright that we saw earlier on when the sun was setting. Now we are going into those clear skies, calm winds, which will bring those temperatures into the mid 30s for a lot of us. There will be some lower 30s, but those under the frost advisory, just know you should protect those plants. Once again, we will be mostly clear. Here's a look at Bay City currently. That's a really nice shot with barely any clouds out there. We've got the I don't know what happened to change that lighting, but you can see those colors out there on the horizon. And it is breathtaking to see the blues up top, and then you get into the oranges and reds down closer to the horizon. With these colder temperatures, we're also going to see a lot of those fall colors popping up a little bit more. Here in mid-Michigan, most of our color is still in the low side, 20 to 40%, but there are some pockets of moderate color, 40 to 60% happening across Midland, getting into Gratiot, as well as Saginaw counties, Gladwin, Aranac, even Iosco counties, a pocket right in there that we have had some reports of moderate color. Then you go into more of that moderate color in northern lower Michigan, and then high to peak color happening into the Upper Peninsula. That's where the colors are at their most vibrant, brightest, and most widespread. And it'll happen not only for the rest of this week, but likely into next week before we get past peak for a lot of those locations in the Upper Peninsula. And then it's the Lower Peninsula's turn to see that high to peak color. High pressure has kept us nice and dry. It did give us a little bit of cloud cover into the thumb. We have a new system approaching the area from the west that's bringing some extra clouds. And as you can see, a couple rain showers. We'll have to wait and see how much rain is going to develop out ahead of this system. As it tracks through the state of Michigan, there is going to be a lot more rain in northern lower and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, closer to that low. But you can see that general spin that is happening right about here. That is the low pressure system itself, and it's going to continue to track down, as you can see, right about here by Saturday evening. So the overall general path is to take it from Lake Huron down towards Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, which would keep us likely on the drier side of things on Saturday. But that's just one model's perspective. If we shift and go to another model, so this is the Futurecast HER, which is the HRRR, this has a different story painted for us going into the day on Friday. Friday morning, quiet, dry. We've got some clouds that are coming on in. Friday afternoon and evening, a much better shot at some rain shower activity. Now, this may be overdoing it. I would say it probably is, but a couple showers could be out there for Friday evening. And then that low tracks right into the state. So not over Lake Huron, but right across mid-Michigan, lower Michigan, and also getting into southern Michigan. We're seeing this wave starting to push on in, and that's going to provide us with a higher chance of rain on Saturday, cooler temperatures, and a little bit more cloud cover. That model that I just showed you, the HRRR, it is painting about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. In some pockets of heavier rain is a possibility, but overall, both models don't have a ton of rain. The HER would, of course, be the higher end of that rainfall with some spots up to 1/4 of an inch. The model I showed you first, which was our in-house Futurecast model, that probably gives some spots upwards of 1/10 of an inch of rain. If that, most of us will stay below 1/10. So it's just going to depend on where that low develops and where it tracks. Most models are starting to hint at that more easterly progression, which would keep it out of our area. Regardless of where it goes, it is going to be a breezier day tomorrow. Some gusts up to 25 could knock your trash can down if trash day is on Friday for those of you watching here right now. We have that chance of PM rain tomorrow and a chance of rain throughout Saturday under partly sunny skies. We're a bit cooler on Saturday, lower 60s as opposed to the mid 60s for tomorrow. Upper 60s on the way for our Sunday, then lower 70s on Monday. We'll stay in the upper 60s on Tuesday. Another cold front pushes through Wednesday and Thursday. Could provide us with another rain chance, but it definitely will cool us down more lower 60s, get us closer to seasonable. But as you can see, no real opportunity at warmer temperatures all that much here in our extended forecast. We're going to be just right around, if not just above, the normal temperature of 63 degrees. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for me. We'll wrap things up here momentarily. We do have a 20% chance of rain also on Sunday that I forgot to mention, but if that system is further to the east, we'll take that opportunity out and we'll just keep some sunshine going and enjoy those upper 60s. Have a great weekend. If you plan on doing any fall color tours or just kind of going to the apple cider mill, things like that, doing some pumpkin picking or maybe even some pumpkin carving, the weather is looking actually somewhat decent here over the weekend. Just know there could be a chance of rain out there on Saturday.